Hello there. Y'all all right? Real quick, I want to share something with y'all. I woke up this morning and I was tired and I did not feel like coming into this gym. But I thought about my mama, okay? And my mama, she often motivates me to move when I don't feel like it, right? And I thought about my childhood. Honey, let me tell you something. My mama was always on a diet, right? At a very early age, I feel like I remember learning about dieting. I might have been in third grade, maybe second, because my mama used to sell Herbalife, right? And she used to make the smoothies, and I would taste it. It was good too. I used to be in there sampling it and couldn't wait till she made it. She said, "This is my diet drink." My mom was on a diet so much. She was even in a diet group called TOPS. And TOPS stood for Taking Off Pounds Sensibly. They met every Thursday at the rec. That's like the recreation center. And it would be so funny because they would weigh in every Thursday. Baby, they would be in that bathroom, trying to use the bathroom before weigh in. Honey, they would take off their clothes, honey, before they got on that scale, baby. They would diet all week to come in there and weigh in. And then after the weigh in, everybody, they would chart their weights and stuff, how much you lost or if you gained or whatever. And they would hold hands and they would sing a song. And the song was, the more we get together, the more we get together, the slimmer we'll be. Cause your loss is my loss, and my loss is your loss. The more we get together, the slimmer we'll be. Honey, and then after they would meet, they would talk about the different, ways to lose weight or, whatever the thing is that they would talk about. But what I remember the most is afterwards, because I went with my mama every Thursday night. We would go to either Golden Corral or Western Steel. These was the buffet. They all would go, her and her group of friends. Trina, if you watching, girl, you know I'm telling the truth. And then they would all sit and eat at the buffet until, they got full, and then they would sit and we would talk. And then once that food digested, they would eat again. It would, as a child, I didn't really understand it, but when I got a little bit older, I said, they won't do nothing. Okay, how y'all eating everything you just lost and repeat it every week? Anywho, my mama always was a little bit overweight, right? But her goal weight, she would always be like, if I could just get to 155 one day. Oh, girl, if I get to 155, you won't be able to tell me nothing, right? But she would never really exercise. She would walk, because there's a thing about walking. I don't know if it's in the South or what, but like that's all that they would do. They would walk, but they wouldn't lift weights. They wouldn't really get into fitness. And I don't know if it was because they just didn't know how, right? But diet and some walking was it. And I never forgot that. But then I remember when my mama got sick. And my mama, for those of you who do not know, she passed from ALS, which is neuromuscular. And it's a terrible disease, and it travels very quickly through the body. And I remember when she started to lose all her muscle, right? And she could no longer walk. And so she was in a wheelchair, and we had to take her to the doctor. And so that when you're in a wheelchair, especially if it's motorized, they have this where they weigh the wheelchair and then they subtract that from the weight, like to get your weight, right? And I never forget this day that they weighed mama. And she weighed 155. And she was so excited. She said, oh, I finally hit my goal weight. But then at the same time, it was a very sad moment because she hit it because she was losing her muscle and she was dying. And I often think about that. I often think about, will we wait until we are sick or dying before we reach our goals? And then we can't even enjoy it, right? I don't know why 155 was Mama's goal. I don't know if she thought that that would make her feel better or look better. But I know that she hit it too late. And so I'm reminded every day, and in this day particularly, that I have goals that I want to hit. And I want to hit them while I'm healthy. I want to hit them while I can enjoy them. And I want to be able to inspire others to do the same. And it's crazy because my mama is still inspiring me. Even though she didn't realize that it would change me the way it did. But it did. And so today I hope it changes you, or it shifts you today. I pray that you hit your goals, and I pray that you're able to enjoy them. That's it. All right, let me get this workout on, honey. I love y'all. Okay? Yeah. Go about your business. All right? Have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. I'll see y'all later. Bye.